Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Journeyman Football Manager with Zebu Nation. And here we are, Season 4 with the Wolves of Wolverhampton. And we are in the Premier League, in case you missed it, in case you missed any of our previous episodes. We did get promoted last season. We've gone through the preseason. We finished our first 10 games. That was our last video. And now we've gone through the next 10 games, so we are 20 games into the season. And as you can see here in the standings, we're sitting at 15th place, which isn't good, but it's not terrible either. We're well out of relegation. Well, not well out of relegation. Let's not overstate things. We're actually, in terms of points-wise, we're tied with many other teams that are in relegation, but we're slightly better than them for two reasons. Number one, our goal differential is a little better than theirs. And we have one game in hand, or they have one game in hand, however you want to put that. They've got 21 games, we've got 20 games, so we still got one game to go, and we've got 19 points. We're sitting at 4 wins, 7 draws, 9 losses, as I mentioned, a -7 goal differential, and it's a little bit better than we did after the first 10 games, but not much better. So we really need to improve ourselves going forward, and it's going to be difficult, but I think we can do it. I think the pieces are in place now to make a push, but it's all going to be up to the players and whether or not they can focus and stay together and not get depressed and down and stop playing hard. So anyway, let's look at how we got here. Let's look at the schedule. Our last game that we showed was a nice 2-1 victory over Hull. I thought we'd figure things out then, but apparently it wasn't to be because we lost our next 2 games versus Man City and then a 3-1 sort of thrashing versus West Ham. That's a little bit to be expected because those two teams are at the top of the division right now. They're fighting it out for those top spots, the top 5, but still, I was very disappointed in the team after those 2 losses, especially West Ham that just kind of killed us. So I redid the lineup a little bit. I messed with a few things here and there, and the results of that were mixed. We came away with 3 straight draws, 0-0 versus Newcastle, a very nice 2-2 comeback versus Arsenal, and after that game, actually, there was some talk in the media about possibly us becoming the next Arsenal head coach. They asked us would we be interested. I said, yeah, sure, why not? And our fans reacted poorly to that, but the Arsenal fans reacted well, and they said they put us as their top choice. So maybe in the future we might be hearing Arsenal come knocking on our door, and that would be hard to pass up. I love the Wolves; they're doing great, but this is the Journeyman series, and part of the Journeyman series is moving up the ranks, and Arsenal is undeniably a larger club than the Wolves. They got a lot more money, they got a lot better players, they're in a lot better position to compete for the championship. So if Arsenal comes calling, we'll probably answer that call. But in the meantime, we're going to stick here with the Wolves and go through the rest of the schedule here, obviously. So anyway, I got distracted by that Arsenal talk. After Arsenal, we had a not disturbing, but a disappointing 2-2 draw versus Fulham. Fulham's one of the teams that we should be beating, and the boys just didn't play that well. And then we lost to Watford 1-0. That was a very disappointing game. We lost it on a penalty kick. One of our central defenders fouled a guy in the box, and this was a guy who had been clamoring for playing time, and we'd been playing him. And so after that, I just said, you know what, forget about it. I'm going to play my best 11 and forget about anything else. And we did that against Liverpool on television. We got an enormous 4-2 victory versus Liverpool, and that sort of solidified my starting lineup. That's where I said, you know what, this is my best 11. I'm going to play these guys and see how many games we can win. Well, that didn't last very long because we had some injuries, we had some suspensions, we had a very tight schedule where we had several games in a row. So we came back after that with a loss to Burnley, another team we should be beating, and then a fairly satisfying draw versus Man United, a team that should have beat us. Honestly, they were at the top of the league at the time, They were second place at the time, and we came away with a draw, so that's pretty good. But now, that gives us hope going forward that we can start winning some of these games, especially when you look at our schedule, who we've got up next. We've got Bournemouth, which is a winnable game, and it's a game we really need to win because they're just above us on the standings. And then we got Derby, a team that's below us on the standings. So these are two winnable games. I want to say two must-win games, honestly, if we're going to stay out of the relegation fight completely. We need to win these games. But we've got a complication, and that is over here. FA Cup third round, a very intriguing matchup versus Tottenham, which is currently the number 2 team in the league. And all of our fans are excited about this. The chairman has come out and said he wants a full house for this game versus Tottenham. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, which is, do I play my best 11 here in the FA Cup versus Tottenham, or do I save them for Bournemouth, which is kind of a must-win game? I mean, it's hard to say it's a must-win game 20 games into the season, but I just feel like if we don't win this game, we're going to lose a lot of momentum, especially with Stoke and then Tottenham again coming up the next week. I don't want to look at that and losing 3 out of 4 just for a win in the FA Cup when we're probably not going to go any farther if we do win. So I think the plan here is to play a rotated side versus Tottenham and then play our best 11 versus Bournemouth and Derby and try to pick up those 2 Premier League wins. So that's the plan going forward. Let's look at the plan that we have just completed by going through the checklist. That's right, the world famous Football Manager checklist. Start down here at the bottom with finances. You'll notice here we got some interesting numbers going on. First of all, our overall balance, 36.6 million in the bank. That's pretty good. That has us listed as rich in our finances, so that's really good. This season we've made $8.4 million. That's pretty good. Profit loss this month of $500,000. We just started the month, so that's pretty good to be in the black at the beginning of the month is always positive. But the big number here, the big change is over here in the transfer budget. You can see 21 million. At the beginning of the season, our budget was 7 million. We spent a bunch of that, and so the board came to us about a week ago and said, "Hey, the transfer deadline is coming up, or not the transfer deadline. The transfer window is opening soon. Do you want a larger transfer budget?" And I said, "Yeah." So they dropped 20 million on us. That's pretty good. But they didn't increase the payroll budget. Our payroll budget right now is sitting at 51 million. We're currently spending 50 million of that, so we don't have a lot of wiggle room right now in the payroll budget. Maybe we could pick up an expensive youngster or two who aren't going to take up much salary but would take a huge transfer. But I don't know that I want to do that. I think I want to save this money for the next transfer window. But I don't know. Those plans are still to be decided because there aren't really any big names out there that I want to bring in. And anybody I look at bringing in, when I look at their price versus what my scouts think of them, my scouts don't think that highly of them, especially when they're asking, 8, 10, $15 million transfers. I'm not into that. That's not how I do things. I've got a very skewed sense of what players should cost, and I'm not used to Premier League money. I'm not used to huge transfer budgets. So when I see these guys saying that, they want a lot of money, I would rather play my youngsters than buy these guys. So I'm a little bit, I've got to wrap my head around things mentally before I go into the next transfer spending cycle. So anyway, yeah, that's where we're at in terms of money. We're looking good. Money-wise, no problem. Very happy about that. Board-wise, also looking very good. Job security, very secure, sitting here at 61%. That's outstanding. We finished our youth facilities. Maybe we could ask for a better training budget. Let's take a look at our club here. We're 3.5 stars, national reputation. That's pretty good. Just we're getting better. We got a lot of those television games. We're winning games on TV, and I think that's helping us out. And just being able to stay in the Premier League, I think for a season or two will help us out tremendously. But what I wanted to look at was our facilities. We got good corporate facilities, excellent training facilities, excellent youth facilities. I mean, we don't really need to ask the board for anything else. Our club is good. What am I thinking? Our stadium. Stadium condition is very good, so it's not like we need a new stadium. 30,000 seat all-seater. I mean, Molyneux is pretty good. I don't know what we would need to do to update it. I don't know that we need more than 30,000 fans. Honestly, can we look at... I mean, I'm getting off on a huge tangent here. Average attendance. Where are we at? We're 13th place. 27,000. 90% capacity. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm very happy with that. 90% capacity. Only 2 sellouts, though. So I think, if we start getting up here, like Derby, 10 sellouts, 10 sellouts. Who's got the max number of sellouts? You can't sort by sellouts. But yeah, it looks like, if we start getting up there where a lot of our games are getting sold out, then maybe we can think about expanding the stadium. But I don't think we need a new stadium by any stretch of the imagination. So we're fine with that. We don't need to ask the board for any new facilities at the moment. All right, so now transfers. This is where things don't get interesting because we didn't make any transfers. You can look at our transfer history. Well, that's not true. There's a couple of transfers. Obviously, there's the Carl Akem move to Man City. I mentioned that in the last episode. Our goalkeeper, our man from the Wolves, guy who we played a season in his honor last season, he came to me and said, "Hey, I'd like to move on. I think I've accomplished everything I can at the Wolves. I'd like a chance to go somewhere and get some more playing time." So we agreed to put him on the market, and Man City came calling. Man City was in a bit of a slump when they bought Carl, so maybe they needed a goalkeeper at the time. I don't know that they need one now, but you never know. He could get some playing time for them, and that would be good for him, and good for us, and good for everybody. But to replace him, I went out and got a free transfer, Garrison Innocent, a young French goalkeeper, 19 years old. He's not really the best dude in the world, but he's good for a backup. We just needed a backup, needed a reserve. He was kind of the best dude out there on the free agent market, so I picked him up. And mainly that's because I've got some good young goalkeepers, but I didn't want to bring them back from their loans because they're playing pretty well right now for their loan clubs. Got Mason Blake, 18 years old. He's honestly much better than Innocent, but he's already out on loan and he's playing well and he's getting better, so might as well leave him out there. And then the other guy who's really interesting, Jack Ruddy, the Scotsman, 22 years old. This guy's pretty good too, but again, he's out on loan, he's playing well, and he's improving. So that's the big thing. If guys are out on loan and they're improving, I tend to keep them there. However, that being said, we did bring a couple of guys back from loan. They aren't here yet. They're in sort of that nether state where they're not out on loan, but they're not quite back with the team yet. And that was Keith Blake, right here, 17-year-old defensive midfielder. Can we move him up to the first team? Move to senior squad. There we go. And then the other guy was who? Who was the other guy? Is he in the under-23 squad? No. There he is. Alan Taylor. He's the other guy I brought back from loan. 19-year-old attacking midfielder. This guy is looking pretty good for a youngster, for 19 years old. Irishman. So we're going to bring him up, move him to the senior squad as well. And that's basically been our transfer moves, as exciting as that is. One 19-year-old goalkeeper, and then 2 other youngsters that we brought back from loan. So there you go. Thrilling. It's not like, I'm sorry to disappoint, but it's not the millions of dollars thrown around that a lot of other people do. I don't know. That's just how I play things. I like to build from youth and stuff like that. Just fits my style a little better. Now that could come back to bite us if we don't win some of these games, but hey, what are you going to do? You got to roll with the team that brought you. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm just talking. But hey, let's move on. How about that? Yes, team selection. There we go. So here we are versus Tottenham, one of the top teams in the league, currently second place. These guys are impressive. They got some injuries though. Della Ali, one of the best players, is injured quite a while, it looks like. 5 to 7 days. Danny Rose injured 3 months. Ouch. See you later. Kevin Wimmer, very talented player, out 5 to 9 days. So those guys are obviously not going to be on the side. But you got to hope that they rest some of these guys and play, I don't know, play some of their under 18s, under 23s. I don't know, because even their backups look pretty darn impressive. I mean, a lot of these backups would be starting for me. So, like this guy, Christian Eriksen, I guess he's a starter. Anyway, a lot of these guys are a lot better than my guys, at least according to this scouting report. Maybe these scouting reports are not quite what they're all cracked up to be. But anyway, they look more impressive on paper, and they're obviously performing better than us because they're at the top of the league and we're at the bottom of the league. So there's no reason to get cocky. So anyway, here we are. We're looking at our reserve team here. Let's see. Cup tied for the next match due to having played for another team in the competition. Oh, come on, Blake. I kind of wanted to play you. Alan Taylor, though, is available, so we'll put him up here for Walker. He's a 2.5-star dude. Pretty good. Advanced playmaker is it's where he likes to play. So there we go. All right, so here is the team that I've gone with. I can't play Innocent. He's ineligible at the moment. Already involved in another match today. He must be playing for our under 18s. So we can't play him. There's a lot of guys we can't play. This is not our best 11, as you can see. We got a lot of like 2-star dudes in here, and that's not good. But these guys are decently talented. They can win some games. Maybe not win a lot of Premier League games. Maybe not beat Tottenham, but they can play decently. All of these guys, I've played them before, and they've all played well in spurts. So here we go. Simone Mignolet is our number one goalkeeper. He just plays every game. He's like an Iron Man. So we're going to keep him in there. Ben Sheaf is a versatile dude. He got injured early in the season. He's back, though. You look at him, he can play a lot of different spots, and he's pretty good, especially at the fullback position. He may be only a 2-star fullback listed, but he's got much better ability than that. So we're going to keep him there and see what he can do at that fullback position. Bailey Wright is a guy we promised more playing time to, a guy who has not really lived up to that expectation of getting more playing time. But, we're going to keep playing him anyway. Alfie Mawson, one of our signees early in the year, another guy who has not played up to his potential. Even though he looks like a very good defender, he hasn't played like it. Scott Tanser, another guy who wants more playing time. But I don't know. He hasn't really done much for us. Akil Rahman, a guy who is playing above his stature. He's basically our starting defensive midfielder, and that's one of the reasons why we brought the youngster out back from loan, is just to give us some more depth and maybe try the youngster out there, see if he plays better than Rahman. Even though Rahman has played solid, no complaints there. Then Maciek McGregor, Alan Taylor. McGregor's another one of our flying Scotsmen. Got a lot of these guys running around the pitch these days. He's one of our better reserve players, so he should give us some stability there. Alan Taylor's the youngster we just brought back, the 19-year-old Welshman. I thought he was Irish. I guess he's Welsh. That seems to be the Welsh flag. Yes, Welsh. All right. And then Roman Maciek is one of our youngsters. He's a 22-year-old Czech. He's supposed to be playing out on a wing, but we play him at central midfield, trying to retrain him to be a central midfielder. So hopefully he can do that. And then Noah Diko, Chuba Akpom. We've got a nice 4-man rotation at striker, so these guys are no problem. They've started plenty of games for us. So it is a rotated side, is a heavily rotated side, but a lot of these guys have experience and have played for us before, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. Alan Taylor needs a number. He likes to be number 10, don't we all? Take number 20, buddy. How about that? Submit those numbers. Yes, we go. And let's move on. So we're going to get I think this is our first look at Tottenham this year. I don't recall playing them. We may have played them before, but I don't remember it. But we'll see if they live up to the hype. Let's see. BBC Radio 5, Gordon Kennedy, enthusiastically friendly journalist. You sprung a few surprises with your team selection today. What's your thinking behind that? Some players will play here, others will play in another fixture. That is the doggone dang old truth right there. So we've got our diamond formation, of course. They have their 4-2-3-1 wide formation. Looks like they're sending their fullback forward here, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that dude. Let's apply our advice to the team. Looks like they want us to close down on everybody, or tightly mark everybody. So we're going to tightly mark and close down on everyone, and then also we're going to add Kenny Teat. I'm going to call him Tet. Kenny Tet. Going to close down on that dude as well, just to make sure he doesn't run wild from his fullback position. Go out there and impress everyone. Nobody is feeling very impressive at the moment. So let's go. Here we are, Molineux Stadium on television, a televised game in the rain. FA Cup, full house. Let's see, boys, if we can put a good performance out there for the fans. Carrasco has it on the opening drive. I don't like this. Bernardi, there's the steal. There's Tanser. Starts the counterattack up to Diko. Diko's got some men running with him, but he does not pass it, and there ends the highlight. So we're going to try to catch him on the counterattack. That's kind of how we've been playing a lot this season. Here's Eriksson, corner on the near side. Rahman just heads it out of there. So we're going to try to catch him on the counterattack. That's kind of what we do here. As long as our defense holds up. Mignolet has been playing outstanding this season, even though our goal differential isn't that great. I'm sure his numbers don't look that great, but he has made some outstanding saves this year. Can't really blame him for anything. A lot of defensive mistakes. A lot of just getting overpowered at times. And, that's part of playing the counterattack style, is you leave yourself open a little bit to people pushing forward, but that's half the point, honestly, is let them push forward so you can counterattack. But that does sometimes get us into trouble against better competition, and sometimes against worse competition too, because they get a lucky goal, and then we're stuck. But for now, our counterattack doesn't look to be working too well. Tottenham is getting all of the control, all of the chances. Only 14 minutes in. They've already had 3 or 4 highlights here. It's Eriksson to Onoma. Out wide to Carrasco. Goes right by the fullback. Centers to Kane. Oh, here's Mignolet. I mean, he's kept us in a lot of games. Not going to lie. His saves have resulted in a lot of draws this season, just because the other team should have scored, but he stopped them and allowed us to hold out for the draw. There's a yellow card for Tanser, not looking so good. What's our instructions? We are stuck in, we are disciplined, so hopefully those two things counter each other out a little bit. If we can go into half 0-0, I'll be happy with that. 34, here's another highlight. Eriksson with another corner kick. Here's Mignolet with the nice grab. So you can see he's been a big surprise for us this year because I've heard nothing but bad mouthing of him. You know, I believe he plays for Liverpool in real life, and the Liverpool fans are not happy with him at all. The one game I saw on television, he was on the bench. They had some other kid in there who got just shellacked. I forgot who they played. Maybe it was Arsenal. I don't remember. But he got shellacked like 3-1 or something, and it was no good. Here's Deco. Deco centers it for Ekpom. Oh, I thought that was a goal. Come on, man. I've moved Ekpom over to the complete forward role, and he's played pretty well. There's Eriksson with the free kick goal. That's no good. We had our chance at the other end and missed it, and they take their chance. Just as I was sort of talking up Mignolet, he gives up the free kick goal. That was a dang good try, though. I mean, he was in the right area. So now we'll have to see what Tottenham do here. 45 minutes, 2 minutes of stoppage time. There's half. Down 1-0. So it looks like they're going to take their lead and sit on it. So come on, boys. I know you can do much better than that. It's an FA Cup game. Might as well go out swinging. Be more expressive. There we go, boys. Start that second half up. Gonna go standard. Gonna go after him a little bit. Be more expressive. See what we can do. There's the youngster Taylor getting his first taste of Premier League football. 50 minutes down. I think Tottenham's going to sit on it, but we'll see. Vertonghen with the throw, and there's Rahman trying to keep his job. He plays his role. He plays it well. There's Deco not playing his role, not playing well. And there's Tottenham just dropping it back to the goalkeeper, wasting as much time as possible. Sending it downfield. There's McGregor now. Akpom gathers it in. It's a good play. Macek, not a good play on his part. Here we go. Sheaf sends it forward. Daring play to Akpom. Akpom, get that steal, buddy. He gets it. Then he just fires it. Come on now. That should have been a golden opportunity, and he just booted it. All right, here's McGregor with the corner. Comes right back out to him. Can we make anything out of this? Akpom can't win the header, and Sigurd grabs it down. Now Tottenham's going to waste time. Can't blame him. 55-minute down. There's a nice steal from McGregor. Gets it forward to Akpom. He's acting as his own advanced playmaker here, and that's not good. Oh, here we go. Finally, Tanser gets involved. Centers it back to Macek. Macek to Taylor. Can the youngster make a play? Almost. Got it to Deco. Out wide to Sheaf. Sheaf just sends it in. Akpom is there with the header. Goes wide. Interesting seeing these young players in there together. They're mostly playing okay. Bailey Wright is not playing well at central defense. 62 minutes gone. Might be time to make some subs before they go up to... All right. That's pretty much, I would assume, the game right there. I'm going to skip that highlight. Don't ever want to see that again. There's Wright down to a 6.3. So we'll... probably won't see him again in any kind of lineups in the near future. That's unfortunate because we did pay some money for that guy. Oh, suddenly he shot up to a 6.9 rating. Good on you. Rahman is tired. Tanser is a little tired. He's got a yellow card. I think we can get that yellow card out of there. Yeah, we'll bring in Garbett. He better not get injured. Bring in Garbett. Connor Cody is abysmal. I don't like that. So we'll leave him on the bench for now. Taylor can't track that one down. Felipe Anderson to Eriksson. Onaman out wide here to Vertonghen. Oof. Good, not quite a save, just steered it out, made sure it was out. All right, so we got rid of that yellow card. Garbett is in. Here's Sheaf with the throw-in on the near side to Rahman. Back to Sheaf. Maychek, McGregor. That was an awful turnover by McGregor. Yeah. Sending it downfield to Sigurd. Defense barely closes in. Mawson finally closes in on him. So yeah, we're just, this is not the game for us. This is not the game that we should be showing you. Should be showing you the next game. But you know what? Sometimes you got to see these warts. Ooh, Deco, come on, buddy. You can make the play. All right, Rahman is out there dying. I'm going to bring in Cody. Just to try to cheer him up a little. Confirm and give a pep talk to Cody. Passionately, I have faith on you. All right, feels motivated. Don't want to leave Rahman out there just to die and wither away. Here we go. Garbett to Sheaf. Sheaf plays it forward to Maychek. Maychek back to Taylor. The youngster gets it to Cody. Cody is more of a long shot specialist. He's not really a goal scorer, but he can shoot the ball from distance, so he's got that skill. All right, 89 minutes down. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Wright sticks his head in there. Maychek wins one. Gets it, doesn't get it forward. He just blasts it forward over the goal. Ridiculous attempt there. But anyway, 2 minutes of stoppage time. It's a long highlight. Wonder if something's going to happen here. Maybe we can get one back. If we get one back, we can feel a little better about our next game against Tottenham. Then again, our second string losing 2-0, I guess. No, it's not really. I was going to say it's kind of a victory, but not really. Not at all, honestly. Especially the way we played. There's just no heart, no energy in this second unit. Not happy about these guys at all. Vertonghen throws it in. There's a nice header from Sheaf. I mean, we've had some decent individual players. Ekpom has played okay, I suppose. I mean, we'll look at the ratings afterwards to get a truer assessment. But there have just been some guys. Maychik has been disappointing. Who else has been disappointing? I guess McGregor's been all right. He's got a few steals. There's Maychik again. Cody. Taylor, the youngster, gets it forward to Deco. Deco has been a disappointment. Gets it back to Maychek. Maychek gets roughed up and the ball stolen. You know, he's just been pitiful. So we probably won't see Maychek again for a while, if ever. But the rest of the team, we're going to be calm, far from pleased with what I just saw. Continue to the post-match analysis here. Let's take a look at the analysis. And did we do anything correctly? Sheaf ran a lot. Tanser did. 16 interceptions for Rahman. That's pretty good. Everybody else just ran. 19 interceptions for Mawson. Bailey Wright, 100% tackles one. I guess that's okay. He bounced back. Central defense had a rough time of it. They bounced back a little bit. Deco and Ekpom, shots on target 0. Overall chances 0. So they really let us down there. Look at the stats. The ratings. Minolet with a 6.2. I mean, I guess the ratings ended up being okay. But, I don't know. I was disappointed. Even if the ratings don't agree with me. So there we go. We're going to move on. We have Bournemouth next. And, Wolves defeat in the FA Cup. That's fine. Nobody really cared about the FA Cup this year. Anyway, Taylor makes his debut after a spell with the Rangers. That's good. So let's see. What are we looking at next on the schedule? It's, we've got some tough games in there. As I mentioned, Stoke, Tottenham, Chelsea are up there. Man City, West Ham, Newcastle. Oof. So the end of the season is looking pretty tough. We got to get our wins where we can get them. And I'm not sure where those are going to be after these next 2 weeks. We got to look at, Southampton Derby, West Brom. There's Southampton, so that's a possible winner. West Brom, there's a possible winner. Newcastle's at the top of the league. Arsenal's at the top of the league. Bournemouth, I think that's a possible winner, right? Yeah, they're in 12th place. It's a possible winner. Fulham's a possible winner. Burnley's a possible winner. So we got some winnable games in there. We just got to take advantage of them. So we'll look at our next 10 games and then see what happens after that. All right. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.